Yeah, to say that I expected, no. You know, I don't know if it was the first two, but it seemed like the first two or three punt returns, we got a holding call, you know, and we're backed up. And then, like you said, we've got, you know, third down and you know, it's a drop, and now those were the only plays for the offense. Those were your plays. That is your first quarter, you know, 3 and out. And then, you know, we had a couple of those penalties that we gave them first downs, you know, and yet I am proud of the way we kept playing, and obviously a big play by Torch, but, you know, we've absolutely got to be cleaner in those things that you control. And there's going to be others, you know, I'm anxious to see kind of on Keanu's, you know, kind of is coming through and going with it, and certainly, you know, no guys can go out there and think, hey, I'm going to try to drop the ball here. You're right, it's not that. But I think there are some, that's what's, you know, in some ways that's what's great about this game. Guys are excited about it, and nerves are a real thing. You know, you know that. And to get back in and starting the season and playing, you know, part of you appreciates that they're not taking it for granted. You know, here we go, we get to play. But absolutely, we've got to continue to work and continue to improve, you know, individually and certainly as a team.
Steve?
Obviously, you didn't go in expecting what y'all have, the 290-plus plays, but did you enter the season thinking y'all had capability of maybe more splash plays, more chunk plays going into the season?
I think you always, you know, you're going to need to do a lot of things, you know, and I think when you sit there and talk about, you know, chunk plays, I wouldn't say that necessarily. We've been fortunate, we've been able to hand the ball off, and we've had some backs that those become chunk plays, and the other's a screen, you know, and got them in a pressure that the guys executed it well, and you know, so anytime you can get big chunks, it's good, but I don't think that you necessarily, I think they come when you play the game, and when guys execute, and it's not necessarily what type of play. I think they're all capable of being a chunk play if everyone's on point.
Coach, what kind of things have you guys done conditioning-wise to have players ready to be blocking 90 yards downfield on a play like that? It seemed like there was always a big group of Badgers in the end zone at the end of both of those.
Yeah, better, right? I mean, you got to play the play out, and you know, certainly, you know, guys are working, and but I think you know, you got to play, and you play to the whistle, and there's an excitement too. I mean, guys, I think it shows too. You know, they've got, you know, they understand that you don't know what play is going to be the big one. You know, I thought we saw it on the. I thought Max Sophie made a heck of a block on the interception return. You know, there was a lot of guys there, and they played and played through the play, and that you always appreciate. But you should do it that way.
Paul, you talked about the Torch's big play. One, what did you know, from your perspective, what did you see in that play in terms of maybe what was key for him to get the pick? And was there any carryover, do you think, from, you know, that moment for the rest of the half?
Yeah, I think, you know, certainly was a play that I think sparked everyone, you know, and especially the way that drive had been going. And, you know, it's a credit to, you know, certainly Torch, you know, made the play, and yet every play is, it takes everyone to make those happen, you know, and I think that, you know, Jimmy does a great job of coaching, and those guys understand, you know, to find, it enables them to play, you know, play situations, but you know what, he made a play, and he's, you know, he'd been doing that, right? And that was fun to see him continue it and start it off this year, and yet it's, I think it's a combination of everything, you know, when something happens well, it's, credit goes to the players first and foremost, but I think the coaches are putting them in position and teaching them how to play in those moments.
Okay. Paul, you were non-committal on whom the backup was going to be on Thursday. What was it that gave Miles the edge to make you feel comfortable with him going in as a number 2 tonight?
Yeah, I just thought the way that kind of it'd be good for him to get that work that we had tonight.
Okay.
kind of back to Torch here a little bit. Obviously, he's your most experienced safety. Jim played a ton of safeties tonight. Does Torchio's role change, or does your depth change if Woolen, who kind of had to come out, is going to be out for any length of time?
Yeah, it'll be interesting, kind of anxious to see, kind of what exactly, happened, and how Hunter is, and what it'll be, and Torch's role will be big, right, and it has been, and I think for a number of, one, the way he plays, but two, his understanding of everything, and he's a good one to play with. There's a piece of it that, I think that part as far as understanding, and like I said, it was good to see Preston get in there and do that, and yet, you talk about experience and understanding, Torch obviously has that. Kamoy, certainly does some things, and he goes in, but I think that's where Torch has a role in so many different